March 26th, 2021. We have a special co-host, Camilla Churcher.
Hi, everyone.
Great to have you guys back again. Summer, or at least spring is here. The sun is shining. Bitcoin is recovering from taking a little slip, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. And we have a special guest today. We'll bring him up a little bit later, and some announcements. So who wants to start? Zach, where's Zach? We lost our co-host here.
No, what's happening? Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Please please share the video. You guys have been amazing with the likes and shares, so let's keep it up. Trying to get to 2,000 live viewers today. That's the goal.
Yep. Great. So we have some announcements. What are we telling? What are we talking about today?
Very, very busy week here at Celsius. I think we should start off with the web app here. We got an amazing announcement for the web app. It is going live for early access, and we're giving all of our current ambassadors first access on April 5th. So we've already we locked in the list of ambassadors. Thank you for being an ambassador. Thank you for representing Celsius. You are going to get first access to the web app, and it's going live April 5th. And then a week or two after that, it's going to go live for everybody, so you won't have to wait too long.
Right, and we're also going to sneak in some platinum members as well. So one more reason to be an ambassador and a platinum member. So definitely, I know a lot of you have been waiting for it. Again, you still need your to be a Celsius customer to use it, meaning you must create a Celsius account through the app, and then you'll be able to use the web app to log in and you do full screen, have some cool, dark mode and all kind of other stuff. Also, if you missed, we had several great sessions. Zach is kind of leading the Clubhouse room that's every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. And me and Camilla hop in once in a while and talk about it. I think it starts at 8, actually. When do you start?
Yeah, we start at 8 Eastern every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And earlier this week, it got wild. We had some Bitcoin maximalists in there. And Alex, I got to say, you wrestled them to the ground. It was fantastic, Like there were some serious haters in there, but you just kept coming at them. And at the end, this was the best part. So after a lot of the maxis got really upset, there was a few of them that hung over and were like, so how does Celsius make money? Oh, what is your security like? Oh, interesting. Okay, so I guarantee you some of their Bitcoin have flown into the app.
Well, I kept reminding them that we have 84,000 Bitcoins. That's more than almost anybody. I think there's only like 2 exchanges that have more Bitcoin than us. And I said, we pay Bitcoin on Bitcoin. No one else does that. Why wouldn't you see that as a positive? Well, you pay and sell token too. I'm like, yeah, and everybody can choose if they want Bitcoin on their Bitcoin or sell token, right? Oh, we thought you forced people. I'm like, no, we charge no fees and we don't force anybody to do anything. All right, so let's talk about BlockFi, since they're definitely, kind of what they did by basically lowering their rates from 6% to 0.5%. If you give them more than 20 Bitcoins, your rate drops to half of 1%. That's like almost like what the banks pay you. But that's like the oldest trick in the book. Okay, let's lure people in, let's get them comfortable, and then let's slash what we pay them. It's exactly what the banks have done to all of us for the last 50 years, right? I mean, it's
and they charge fees as well.
And fees on top of it. Yeah, why not do that? So
they said they were going to compete with the banks, but I didn't think they were going to quite do it like that, right?
They definitely showed their colors this week, and we have record new customers coming in, record deposits, and again, over 600 million a month coming into Celsius of this is new deposits, new users, right? So, and I want to talk about Chris Kunz is running our customer service department. He, again, doubled the staff, reduced the wait time. And I know some of you guys some of you have old tickets are still complaining, but I can tell you all the new users are definitely getting a much, much better response times. Same thing with our lending department. It's the same day response time. You get your loan approved and funded the same day. So if you want to try it out, now is a great time to take a loan. And for those of you who missed it, we also raised the LTV, or the loan to value ratio, on Cell Token to 33%. It used to be 25, now it's 33. So you can borrow more against your Cell Token. And last week we announced the listing with Bittrex Global and with Bitfinex. And I think Bittrex has a higher volume than Bitfinex. So that's a little embarrassing, right? For Bitfinex out there. But Bittrex Global is a great platform. Both, there's kind of like Celsius, right? They're regulated. They try to act in your best interest, right? So definitely a great partner for Celsius, and we couldn't be happier. But we have something else with them, right? Isn't there another something special that we're doing? What are we doing here? Camilla, you head it off.
I can jump in here a little bit. Yeah, we have a trading competition coming up, which will be exciting. I think that starts on the 29th, right, Zach? If I got that correct, which will be exciting. So the details. So
in a few days.
Let me see what the details here of that giveaway.
So it's going to be there's going to be a couple prizes. I think it's going to total $15,000 worth of Cell Token.
Yeah.
Here's your chance to get all that free Cell Token.
Right.
That's amazing.
Right.
So I did, before we bring our special guest, I wanted to dig a little bit into what makes Celsius so special. I know all of our competitors are scratching their heads and they want to know, okay, what is the secret sauce? What are you guys doing? We're trying to copy everything you guys are doing, and it's just not working as well for us. You know, one of our competitors just started an AMA exactly in the same time slot on a Friday, right? And that's
what a coincidence.
After Abra and all kind of other companies already tried this and have, 300 followers. So definitely, like, I was joking saying that, I wish our competitors would come up with some original ideas, because then we will have something to copy, but we have nothing to copy from them. I mean, it's just embarrassing. So, but what makes Celsius special is that we're not trying to compete on all features. I mean, we don't have all the bells and whistles like you go on some other exchanges or some other platforms or apps, and you see all those features, right? But we try to be the best at what we do. For example, loans, 1% loans. We've been doing it now for 3 years. Before we showed up, people charge you 24% to take a loan. We charge you 1%. Still, there isn't anyone out there who is offering you a 1% loan. You pay 1% per year on taking a loan from Celsius, right? You couldn't get that deal anywhere else. So that kind of like, if you want to prove you're acting in the community's best interest, this is a perfect example of how you basically say, we make enough on your collateral. It's not that we are not making any money. We're doing that while making enough money to cover everybody's salaries and make sure that we're safe and we have the security and everything else. So 1% loan is a great example. Paying the highest yield. Again, no fees. You have all these hidden fees with BlockFi. You think their loans are 4.95%, but they charge you 2% up front. So that's 6.95. Almost 7% loans versus 1%. I think even a first grader knows what is better, right? So paying the highest yield, lowest cost loans. When we come up with a credit card, it's going to be the best credit card in the world. No $200 annual fee like some of our competitors. I mean, or whatever, 20%, right? They charge the interest rate.
Kill the credit cards.
Right.
I mean, the yield. I mean, that's what we think about every day. When we make changes, we agonize about that internally. We spend a lot of time to make sure that they're stable. So that's where we put the work.
Right. On average, we paid the highest yields. We've paid the longest and the highest yield than anybody else, and we've now paid over $300 million to the community. This is real money. We're not talking about some airline miles, right? This is real money that people paying their bills, paying their kids' college, paying their mortgages, and so on. So if you want to know who's the best, just ask anyone. Okay, how much did you guys pay your community? Okay, ask CZ, how much did he pay his community? All right, how much did Binance pay their community? Right, and compare that to Celsius. So when somebody like Binance announces $1 billion in profits, they took home $1 billion for themselves. That is nothing to brag about. You know, what you want to brag about is how much you paid the community. How much did you give to the people who actually need this? All right. So what else? So we had a few other announcements.
Yeah, actually, I saw that same thing from FTX today. They're saying that, oh, we're going to make more gross income, I think it was, than NASDAQ, right, in 2018. But that's not what it's about. It's about giving as much as you can to users, not making as much as you can for yourself. Right. And that's the difference, right?
Right. Like, so just to continue my other thoughts is like, for example, the self-insurance that we launched, right? So it's another example of how do you protect the community, right? You create an insurance platform that basically collects the insurance premium, doesn't spend the insurance premium on some insurance company, right? The whole point about what we are creating is the insurance stays in the company and it piles up, it earns interest, it accumulates, and if something happens, if there's an event, that capital is there. Because when you buy insurance, right, you're buying it for a year, it expires, then you have to buy it again. That premium goes to the insurance company. There's nothing left, right? You forget to renew your policy for one day and you have zero coverage. That's not what we're talking about over here. All right, so all right, let's see what we have. We talk about Clubhouse.
Yeah, the other big thing I want to mention is our sell token on Aave. So we just tweeted a little bit earlier. I don't know, Camilla, if you want to give more details, but we are petitioning to get sell token on Aave, and our community needs to be heard and let them know that we want that on there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great way for us to bring more utility to the sell token, which is obviously good for everyone in the community. We have a great relationship with the team at Aave, but of course it's all governance-based. It's all about our community getting involved. So we've made a detailed proposal. So we'd love everyone to get on there and support it, give feedback on it, and hopefully, we're making good progress with the team. But we'd love to get sell.
Yes, Camilla was spearheading that effort and really convincing both the Aave team and the Aave community to, it's good for everybody, right? Having sell on Aave is definitely positive. Do we have a link to that? Do we have the link to the?
Yep. I got a link right here. I'll post it in the chat right now.
All right, so I'll bring it up. And
I think we've tweeted it as well. So
yeah, so yes, but we're calling for action, right? We have a call for action here, because we want the community to help us out. So definitely. I can't click on it for some reason. Oh, here we go. Just got it. All right. So if you can share the screen, this is the Aave. The link is a little bit probably going to be hard to find, but if you just do a search for this listing proposal and you basically help us, you vote on it, right? The whole point is for enough people to vote on it. You vote sell in, then sell. Our cell treasury, your cell has more utility. And if it has more utility, it's earning more yield. It's earning more yield. We raise the rates. Win, win, win. Everybody wins, right? So, and you'll be able to take loans on Aave as well against the cell token. So if you, for some reason, don't like the Celsius 1% loan, you think somebody can do better than that, you can always go and put your asset on Aave or you don't want to bring it back into the Celsius wallet or whatever. You're already using other things on Aave. Again, we're partners with Aave. We're one of Aave's largest lenders and borrowers. When the rates are on DAI or USDC are low, we borrow from Aave. And when the rates are high, we lend on Aave, right? So we are, again, this is not us against DeFi or us against BlockFi or whatever. Well, it is us against BlockFi. But as far as it really matters, it's all about convincing people not to give their money to the banks, right? Because they're really the people that really are not your friends are the bank, especially the banks that Camilla used to work for, right?
I worked for a few of them. Yep. And I never dealt directly with our customers, with the consumers. So it's a whole different world.
But you have ample experience of being on the other side, and you took a leap. Switching from the traditional finance to DeFi was definitely a big. I'm sure some of your banking friends looked at you and said, "What are you thinking?"
They did. Many of them did, and I guess you can guess what they're doing now, which is sending.
Exactly, they're sending you the resumes, right? Well, it's not for everyone for sure, because a lot of people go into the banking sector, think they're going to get rich quick. They think it's like a guaranteed ticket to riches, and when you're in the system, you realize that it's not really all it's intended to be. So there's a huge shift today from traditional banking, right? I don't think they're recruiting as widely as they used to.
Yeah, no, it's and I think they're realizing that all of these platforms and all this technology has the potential to challenge them in not just crypto but all the different fintechs. So they're trying to figure out how to stay relevant. I think,
right.
It's going to take a while, but they're waking up to that.
Fact. And especially in the last 3 months, I think there was like an avalanche, one bank after the next, all announcing. Like Morgan Stanley, we love crypto. We're going to give it to all of our richest customers. Yeah. Goldman Sachs, we're reopening the desk. Your alums at Bank of America, right, are definitely warming up.
Reports anyway.
Writing reports. Citi publishing over 100-page report. So definitely a real.
Camilla, what's up with this trend of banks poo-pooing Bitcoin, and then a couple of years later they write reports saying, "Oh, we recommend 1% to 5% to all of our investors." What's up with that?
They poo-poo it when it's $4,000, and they recommend it when it's $50,000.
Well, they when their customers need it. That's when. Right. That's when. And when they don't understand it, and then when their customers ask them for it, and they realize they're losing fees on it, then they figure it out.
Right. And look, Celsius has $13 billion in assets. When they see that kind of money migrating, they feel it. It's not like they don't feel it. When last year Celsius had 550 million, right? So that was nothing. They couldn't even notice that. That was like one account for them, So I think as they see that stampede, it's not even a migration, it's a stampede. Not just that they want to slow it down by saying, "Oh, we can do that for you too," but they're also effectively starting to allocate into the asset class. And it's great for us because, again, this is the first time in history that the average person gets in on the next big thing before the banks. Usually they are the ones dumping on you. They're selling you Tesla at $60 a share. They're selling you Facebook at $200 a share, right? They bought it at 60 cents, right? And so on. So here is a really one of the very, we talk about Wall Street bets, so we're talking about all of these guys are kind of fighting against Wall Street. There's nothing more, no better example than crypto, because we galvanize the value creation, and now even when they try to buy it, the price shoots up like crazy because we're sitting on our hands, we're hodling, we're not giving our coins to anybody. So, yep.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I mean, as long as you can get a wallet, find some venue to buy it. Everybody can buy $100 of Bitcoin, just as much as the bank can come in and buy.
Right. So like us, Bittrex Global has never been hacked. It's one of the very few exchanges that have never been hacked. So let's bring our special guest, who's been waiting patiently for us to stop talking, and here we go.
Hi guys, happy to be here.
So I did a podcast recently, right? It was a
podcast.
It's live, or is it not live yet?
That's already. I think it's out there.
Right. I think I even have a link here. Yeah. So we'll show it as well. So I think I had a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but definitely a lot of fun doing it.
Of course. No, it's great. We love those. But I think I really like this project. I think it has a lot of shared commonalities with, like you said, the ethos of the two companies. I also think personally, my views are probably very similar to yours too. As an ex-finance person, as we call ourselves, poachers turned gamekeepers. We've left the old world to kind of like rebuild a better one here in crypto.
Right, and you're coming to us from Bermuda, right?
Yes, I tried to show you sunny Bermuda from the terrace, but your lighting coordinator wasn't happy. But we have, Who
cares about the views? We care about the lighting,
But you can see the inside of my hotel room while I'm quarantining. But where I'm in Bermuda, because we have two regulated entities. Our main one, where you're listed, is in Liechtenstein, which is obviously in Europe, for those of you who don't know. And then we have another licensed entity here in Bermuda, what's so great about the Bermuda, it's called the DABA Act, Digital Assets Business Act. They don't distinguish between a utility token and a security token. So we've been able to list securities tokens here, which has been kind of like the holy grail. So right now we have secondary Tesla, Apple, and all the stuff and we had GameStop as well. So when you couldn't buy GameStop stock, you could buy a digitized representation of GameStop 24/7 on the exchange here using Bitcoin.
That's great. That's great. And Liechtenstein, I think, is still the smallest country in the world, right?
I think it's the highest GDP per capita on planet Earth. That I know.
Yeah, because there are 3 residents there. That's why it's.
There's 40,000 people, but they're very rich.
It's a beautiful country.
It's a joke. We keep countries. We don't like politics, so we have 2 countries. Bermuda is the Queen. The Queen. It's a British territory, so the Queen's the head of state, and in Liechtenstein they have a prince. So there's no elections. We don't have to worry about that.
That's right. So you have a tough life commuting between Liechtenstein and
Bermuda, exactly.
Bermuda, right. Tough job you selected after moving out of the banks, So thanks for including us. I mean, we love seeing Celsius listed there. And you want to talk a little bit about this competition? You're doing a nice giveaway together with us.
Yeah, I just saw that. So it's launching, I think, on the 29th, and there's $15,000 worth of your tokens. And basically, it seems like there's 3 different ways. One is a volume-based target. One is how long you hold it, and the other is just if you sign up and get a Bittrex Global account, if you're a new customer, and you trade Cell tokens, you can earn some Cell tokens as well. So I think there's different ways to do it depending on what kind of trader you are.
And we're working together to try to eliminate gas fees, so you'll be able to transfer basically between Celsius and Bittrex Global without having to pay gas fees. So I don't know when that's going to come out, but when that launches, you're actually the safest, the fastest, and the cheapest way to buy Cell will be on Bittrex Global. So we got to get that going.
Exactly. Don't trade on Bitfinex. Come to Bittrex Global. I highly recommend.
We love all of our exchanges, but like I said before, you guys are beating them on volume, which is surprising. So definitely, obviously, your customers love you, and I think the space is changing a lot. I think there's definitely a migration from using kind of like the Binances of the world to kind of more like people like you, Coinbase, and others who are obviously the regulated version or regulated side of the business. And I think especially with kind of stricter and stricter KYC and AML rules, you've been doing like us. You've been doing that from the beginning, so you don't have to change anything.
We've been doing it since the beginning. I mean, so Bittrex, for those of you who don't know, is one of the oldest OG companies in crypto. 2014 launched. It's based in Seattle. The founders were all ex-Amazon and Microsoft, and they used to run security at Amazon. So security is the #1 most important thing. And we haven't been hacked. Take it extremely seriously. And we spun out the non-US parts of the business. We spun it out to Liechtenstein because we want to be regulated, but not in the US for our non-US customers. What's the point? The rules in Europe are much clearer around utility tokens. Liechtenstein passed a blockchain act, and Liechtenstein's an EEA member state, so it's EU. So for banking and things like that, it's EU passporting. So it's a great jurisdiction. And then we just added on Bermuda to do the securities token. So, but we do full KYC AML up to European bank standards. So I think short term, it's hurt us in that, you mentioned some of our competitors who don't do any KYC. So obviously for a client, it's a lot easier if you just have an email address. However, I don't know how long that party is going to last. I mean, that's called money laundering. So eventually the regulators will shut these guys down. So we don't know when that will happen, but we know we will be here long term.
Right. And if you're part of those exchanges, unfortunately, you also they're going to be asking you questions, right? Because why are you using it, and what was the purpose, and so on. So if you're a law-abiding citizen, you pay your taxes, there's no benefit. There actually is much more risk.
I don't think it's a negative convexity trade. I don't think most of those users, especially the retail users, don't realize the risk they're taking by being on one of these platforms. Not to mention, if it could shut down, they could lose all, their wallet. Yeah.
Right. So great. So what's your views on what's happening in the crypto space? I mean, obviously, we had a great run. We have a little of a pause here. You've been in it for a while, so give us your kind of like market predictions or market views.
So I don't have a view on Bitcoin. We don't, as an exchange. We make money either way. Like if it's just, we like volume. That's good for us.
Right.
But I think, I think in seriousness, the institutional trend, you see so many new institutional buyers getting into this space. I think that further lends to the credentialization. They're not going to be able to trade with an unregulated platform. So regulated players need regulated platforms like ourselves. We've had a lot of feedback like that from banks telling us they can trade with us because we are regulated. I think that you're going to see the entire sort of crypto market continue to grow, and then new product innovations. I think NFTs, which seems to be slightly bubbly, but that's a whole new product category that just came up. I think you're going to see lots of new products.
Yeah, it seems to be non-fungible. That's the
non-fungible tokens, which is the art world, and this guy Beeples, which everyone's been reading about, who was unheard of until about a month ago, who's now $80 million richer. But I think that you're going to just see more and more interesting product innovations. And I echo what you guys were saying before. I call this the Amazon moment for banking. Like what the Amazon did to retail is finally about to happen to the banks and financial services in general. Crypto, fintech, they're not going to be able to compete against this.
Right. What about corporates? I mean, we obviously seen an institutional wave. The retail wave is coming back just like in 17, but this time it's different because corporates, for the first time, they're all watching, Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. They're watching Tesla, right? Elon Musk now, not just buying a few $1 billion worth of crypto, but also accepting payments in Bitcoin and keeping the Bitcoin, right? A lot of companies accept payments, but they sell it right away. So do you see a huge increase
Huge. I think massive. And this is just like the tip of the iceberg. So for an example, we've been talking to one of the largest, a publicly listed property company in the Middle East. I can't say the name yet, but we've been talking to them for over a year. They're launching a utility token, which you can use to buy their properties, using their malls, their hotels. And then, so that's their own utility token. So that's really interesting. Not to mention, real estate companies, if you want to do a securities token, you can securitize real estate, tokenize it. So we've barely touched on what you can do with blockchain technology. Bitcoin is obviously the most well-known, but it's really just one of like thousands of use cases we haven't explored.
Right. So the renaissance of these new exchanges like you haven't even started yet, because when a lot of these traditional asset classes, they're like the REITs and the ETFs and so on, migrate to the digital world, they're all going to need to trade on some platform, right? So
exactly. And then not only can you do it in smaller sizes, you trade 24/7, and you have a global audience. Like that doesn't exist right now in the regular world.
Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, no, I think exactly to your point, right? It's all of these ETFs we're seeing, all these exchange traded products, different asset management vehicles. That's kind of the first step. People will come in for yield, to get exposure to the asset class. And my stat I have here with just Celsius, we've had over 600 corporate account applications this year. That's
more than all of last year.
Yeah. Just this.
Yeah, it's crazy, and a lot of these guys are large tickets. I mean, so it's interesting because some of them come for Bitcoin, but others are very happy to just keep stable coins that earn 10.5%. So you're not hearing any of the traditional ambassadors for crypto talk about stable coins because they're really all Bitcoin maximalist or ETH specialist or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of the corporates are coming for stablecoin, which you can see the demand. You can see the increase both in USDC as well as USDT, right? Tether is still by far the most popular one. In Bermuda, I think USDC is legal tender, right?
I think they were trying to do that, but we're actually talking to the Bermuda government. They want to issue like a Bermuda dollar stablecoin. So right. For a local payment option. So this place is very pro crypto. Right.
Excellent. So, all right. What else can we cover? Any other thoughts on?
So I think one other topic which is interesting. Yep. ESG, which like environmental and social platforms. That's very woke, and you hear all about it for like regular world investing. And I think crypto has become very topical with this because Bitcoin, as we know, uses a lot of electricity and isn't the most environmentally friendly asset class. But what's interesting, and I've told people, crypto is so innovative, it's already sort of solved this problem. So we just launched a token, which is one of many examples of this, a carbon utility token last week. And basically, each one of these tokens on the blockchain represents an actual carbon credit that's been retired. And then you've tokenized it and created a tradable asset. So you could buy enough of these cut tokens to offset whatever you think your carbon footprint is by buying Bitcoin or just going about your day-to-day life. So again, another hugely interesting innovation I think you see in crypto markets.
Right. So that capital is funding wind turbines and hydropower and creation of more
and actual retired credits, but you can actually there's an actual record of these on the blockchain.
Right.
Whereas a lot of this ESG stuff, you buy a tree, the tree's like 20 times oversubscribed, and then somebody chops it down. So it sounds like ESG, but it's really not, right?
Right. That's the problem. It's like the same problem with NFTs, that everybody's just creating 50 different NFT of the Mona Lisa, but they're not the official version. They're just,
exactly.
They're copies, but they're non-fungible copies.
They're non-fungible copies, non-fungible frauds.
So exactly, non-fungible fraud. So you have to be careful. You have to know what you're doing. Obviously, there's a lot of good stuff in NFTs, but just like in crypto or in the token world where there's over 15,000 tokens and coins, you have to do your homework. You have to do your research. And again, at Celsius, we only include assets that can generate yield. We don't choose them based on their logo or how long they've been in crypto or anything like that. If they can generate yield and we think they're safe and secure, then we kind of add them to the wallet. But we definitely don't chase all the latest FUDs or whatever, because our business is to help our community get you to financial independence, financial freedom, teach you how to hodl. And where's your hodl shirt?
Yeah, I know.
You're very fashionable, but
I'm still waiting for mine in the mail. You owe me one.
Yeah, we definitely. Well, yeah, you have to come back to New York, come back to the U.S. once in a while, and then we'll give you all the swag you want. We got it in all sizes. So
okay, I will definitely stop by for some swag next trip.
Perfect, Stephen. Thanks for coming in. I'll show the link later for our podcast, and definitely we'll be cheering for you guys and participating in the competition. And we love when people get to earn some free Cell token. There's nothing better than that. So
I agree. I look forward to we look forward to the competition. I encourage all of your listeners to trade. And thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Great, and we'll see. We'll bring you back when you guys break all records. We'll bring you back and do another catch up.
And
right?
maybe in person. I've been vaccinated, so I
sure.
can come.
Yeah. You're always welcome. Any of our guests. I doing it out of my home here in New York, and would love to always have people in person. I already got my first shot. I'm waiting for my second shot, and so I'm 95% vaccinated. Like the first shot is good for 95%. So
Congratulations.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. So should we do a quick rapid fire? Because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. I asked Camilla to keep her answers short so we get as many of you as possible. And Zach, just remind people, right, if they include their referral code, they can actually earn $100 for every question we pick. Make sure the questions are for business development, right? That's what Camilla does.
Yeah.
And she'll be happy to answer all of them.
We're getting so many, I can't read them live. They're just coming in so fast. So
yeah. Please like and share this video. Again, if you ask a question, it gets picked. We'll show it on the screen, and all those users are getting $100 in DAI. So ask the best questions. Those are the ones going to get picked. All right, here we go. We got a question here. Oh, see, we're getting so many now. It's hard to load. Slow mode is not slow enough. Let me tell you.
Question about the rate on DOT, Alex. I think on DOT, we just listed it. We came out with a sort of, I guess, starter rate to kind of get comfortable, but I think we're evaluating that. And
I think we're raising it to 8.95% starting next week. So that's, I think, the latest news, 8.95%. And then we will assess it again from there on. Obviously, we always try to earn the highest rate. The problem is sometimes when you have a very high rate, like you'll see DOT earning 12%, you have to check the company. You have to see what they're doing with your ... and, are you going to get those coins back? So today, almost 9% is a safe rate.
And we want to keep it steady, right?
We always...
We can keep it steady.
That's right. That's the whole point. And again, if we earn more, we will raise the rate further. So we already have several $1 million worth of dots. So thank you everybody for trusting us with it. And people deposited even before they knew what the rate was. They're like, okay, Celsius, let's keep going. Go.
All right, next question here from IKEA Insurance. Does the partnership with Bittrex enable Bittrex users to start earning yield, similar to how Voyager operates with Celsius?
Yeah, so we don't have that live yet, but we definitely want to launch this. We'll collaborate. We have this feature with both Bitfinex and with Liquid. And I listed the Bitfinex link several times on my Twitter, but if you don't have it, maybe Zach, you can post it now. And the same thing for Liquid. Let's post those links. We look to collaborate on this. Again, Voyager, Liquid, Line, Japan, right? We have a lot of different exchanges. Some of them move faster, some of them move slower. So I hope that Bittrex Global will be launching that soon as well. Next question.
All right. George here is asking, just waiting for it to load here. What is the most exciting and challenging business development project currently ongoing?
Most exciting and challenging.
Challenging, it's easy, right?
All of them. What's exciting? I don't know if I could name one, but I think it's when we get to do something that's entirely new. I mean, I think to your point, Alex, it's always trying to figure out how we can bring new assets to the platform, make sure we can keep the rate steady. And that doesn't mean we kind of keep doing the same thing all the time. It means we have to get really creative. So, I mean, like Aave is, I think, one good example of something that I've been involved in that's new, certainly for me. And we have to work with a different type of platform, different teams to come up with something. So I find that really exciting. And then hopefully we can do more of that. But
yeah, we did several collabs, right? Both with DeFi projects. I mean, the gold project, we were the first in the world to pay gold on gold, right? Yeah. With Pax Gold, with XAUT, the Tether Gold, and we're now launching also. I think we had that's public already.
Yeah,
right?
DGLD. Yes.
DGLD, right? We had them on the show before, so definitely two good examples of both kind of DeFi and old world projects that are new and innovative and things that no one has done before. All right, next question. We'll keep it short.
All right. Yeah, great question here from Yannick. He's saying, oh, there's so many coming in that it takes a minute for them to get on screen here.
Yeah, I see it here. I have more and more crypto assets in my Celsius wallet. I'm a hodler. My credit score is bad. I need a bridge between traditional finance and crypto. So the best bridge is a credit card from Celsius, right? The minute you have a credit card, we give you full credit for all the crypto you have and all the transactions and a low interest rate, right? And all the transactions you do on a credit card, guess what they do? They build credit for you in the traditional credit world. So it's coming Q2, right? We were promising that, and the product looks better and better. That's all I can tell you. You'll be very happy. No fees, zero fees. No fees whatsoever. The opposite. We pay you. What kind of credit card pays you? Oh my God. I think I spilled the beans. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Here, just popped up another question. I don't know if you could see it, Alex.
Yeah.
Right. Waiting for it to load. It's a question for Camilla. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any strong female influences which help inspire you to make the move from traditional banking to crypto? Yeah, sure. I mean, I think, even women in my former career, you know, you see women, there's nothing that should hold you back for being a woman. So I don't think I felt restricted from making a change in my career, but, you know, there are definitely some key figures that I can think of. I mean, you know,
Janet Yellen. No, just kidding.
Not Janet Yellen. I don't think there was any one person or particular person that made me think of it.
Let me ask the question differently. Yeah. Like, obviously, I publicly admitted that crypto, 15% women, right? So I think even in traditional banking, it's better than 15%.
Yeah.
But when you look at how crypto treats women, right? Yes. We failed on how many women, but when you look at Celsius, other companies, like how you're being treated versus traditional banking, What's your judgment? What verdict do we get as a community?
I think that the difference is, I think everyone who's here gets respected for being here and bringing their expertise and bringing their creativity. So I think that's your age as well. I think you can be young in crypto and be highly respected. You can be a woman in crypto, highly respected. I think everybody has a voice around the table because we're all trying to build something. So I think, that's how I would answer that question.
And we're all learning every day. So
Yes.
no one is an expert.
Yeah.
Right? Where in traditional finance, like Mnuchin, I think, is third generation Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's like, it doesn't get more, corporate than that. All right, next question.
Okay, here is a question loading now. This one's for you, Alex.
BlockFi copied Celsius but failed. How is Celsius ensuring sustainability sustainment in the long term, in the long run? All right, so few things. So I tweeted about that, I think yesterday. I said that the Facebook slogan is move fast and break things, and the Celsius slogan is move fast and fix things. So
That's a good one.
yes. And so the reason we focused on fixing the financial system is because, again, BlockFi was created because I said, hey, look how many people are joining crypto. Let's copy a bank, or at least a neobank, right? And show people like a teaser, get them in, and then lower what we pay them, right? And obviously, Celsius has a completely different drivers, right? Do good, do well. And this is the way, right? HODL, help people transition into financial freedom. Our job is not to accumulate Bitcoin so we could charge you fees, right? So it's completely, I know a lot of people compare us and say it's the same companies here one by one, but you're not going to find any of the words that Celsius is using on our website on the BlockFi side. You're just not going to find them, right? Because that's not their focus. So I think even though we kind of offer similar services, the way it's done, how we treat our customers, our focus, all of that is completely different. So I'm not worried. I'm not looking in the back mirror to see how far behind is BlockFi or Nexa or all these other guys are trying to copy us and catch up with us, right, and so on. I'm looking forward and looking at what else can we do for our community? What else can we do for our customers? And as long as we focus on that and we don't break things, wink, wink, Facebook, Zuckerberg, give your customers some more stuff instead of taking from them. As long as you do that, or Amazon or Google, or I can name 20 names here, right? Of people that kind of started was one thing, but ended up as something completely different. So it just happened to BlockFi in 2 years versus 20 years, right? But we all know where it ends. So our commitment is to not change, not to become something completely different, not to betray. I got a very passionate email from one of our users who was basically saying, right?
You sent it to the whole company.
Yes, I sent it to the whole company, and he was like basically saying, please do not betray us. Do not do something like BlockFi. Don't betray your morals and your principles and everything else. So we definitely are focused on that. That's what we do every day. That's why we're here. All right, next question.
All right, I'm taking some questions from the submission document right now, and also on these questions that you submit, please be sure to enter your referral code because these also will qualify those credits. But okay, from the submission form, Rick is asking, for folks that want to join, what is the least expensive way to buy USDC?
There's zero fees. If you buy them on Circle or Coinbase, right? I mean, they don't charge any fees. You just open a Coinbase account, connect it to your bank. Don't use a credit card, right? Just connect it to your bank. You can buy, I think, whatever, up to like 5,000 a day or something like that. And then when you transfer it to Celsius, there's just one-time gas fee, and that's it. There's nothing else. We don't charge fees. We don't charge withdrawal fees. So whatever you earn, everything you accumulate is yours. And you can just send it back to Coinbase, and then it will show up in your bank with no fees. They don't charge any fees converting USDC to dollars. So really your entire cost for USDC is just the gas fee to move it from Coinbase to Celsius. One-time gas fee.
All right. Another question from the
And you
doc.
just
Sam
paid
is asking.
$100, so now you can afford it. So.
What's your opinion on token burns, and would Celsius ever consider one for the Cell token?
Well, so our goal is 100 million users, right? And I think we're going to get there faster than you think. At 100 million users, each user is going to have only 7 Cell tokens, right? As you're assuming everyone's going to want to have at least one. But what if we have 1 billion users, right? How many tokens can each person get? So we wanted to make sure that we have enough for everybody, and because of that, we don't want to burn them. I know some other projects like Binance burn tokens and so on, but you can't even do an audit on Binance to verify that those were. They just tell you that they were burned, right? You can't really verify that. So rather than burn, we just pay you more, right? I mean, it's the same thing. If you using their earnings to burn tokens, you don't get any of that. All you get is less supply. We actually send you money, and each person can decide, okay, I got this money, I'm going to pay bills with it, or I'm going to buy more Bitcoin, or I'm going to hodl it, or whatever. So we prefer for you to have more options, and it's more also, it works in a more even way. It's a more of a wealth redistribution, which is what we want, versus kind of supporting the more of the rich people instead of the big hodlers instead of the small hodlers.
It's kind of like it goes with Celsius's motto of doing it the opposite of what all the other guys do. Instead of burning those tokens, we're using those tokens to generate even more value for the community. That's the real power play right there, is generating that income instead of destroying it.
It's all about yield. That's right.
It's all about yield. It's like you saw that
yield. Okay, that's
in 2017, Alex. It's almost like you saw that yield was going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, like I was telling people 16, 17. I was screaming yield, and people thought like, what is he talking about? What yield? There's nothing you can earn on anything. So here we go. Now everyone is on the yield train. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All
okay,
right,
Jamie's asking, when is the desktop app going to be released? We announced that earlier in the show. On the 5th of April, it's going out to our ambassadors. And then on the 19th, or a couple weeks after, it's going to be released out to the general public. So we are ready. We're very excited to share that. It's amazing.
I like this. I have my desktop. Yeah.
That's right. We already have some beta testers who have been testing it for a few weeks. All right, let me share my screen. We'll do a quick news update, and we'll share with you where Celsius was featured, and then we'll go back and do another rapid fire. All right, so here we go. So Ray Dalio, remember Ray Dalio runs the world's largest hedge fund. I think like 148 billion or something.
Something like that's huge.
Right. And he's been performing very, very well for the last 2 decades, right? He's been one of the top performing funds, but recently has not done so well. He was like trying to time the market and predict the market, and he had a few missteps. So I think, him kind of poo-pooing Bitcoin, saying, hey, it's going to be outlawed.
With no basis.
With no basis, exactly, is his way of trying to get Bitcoin to go down so he can buy it at low prices so he could fix his returns. Because like one of the Paul Tudor Jones, who said Bitcoin is the fastest horse, and he did that when I think Bitcoin was like $8,000 a coin. Obviously did exceptionally well hodling Bitcoin. That was 2% of his $30 billion fund, if you remember that. Now that 2% is probably more like 10% of his fund because it's done so well. So I think Dalio is definitely talking his book here, and we should just ignore it.
Yeah.
All right. So we have this giant ship stuck in the Suez Canal, blocking Bitcoins from coming to Europe. No, just kidding. That's
coffee and other things are going to start.
Yeah. So if you are looking for coffee, this is where it's stuck. Okay, it's right there. You have to go and drink coffee in the Suez Canal. That's the only place you can get it these days.
Actually, Alex, if you want to, or Tom, if you want to show my screen, I've got a close-up image of that Suez Canal, of what's really going on. We see Peter McCormick's car payment and his BlockFi interest earnings. They're just not quite doing the job.
You have to share the screen. We can't see it. At least I can't see it. So.
Oh, okay. All right. I will have to. I'm not a pro at sharing the screen. That's all you.
All right. So send me the link. Send me the link. I'll share it.
Oh, wait. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Do you see it now?
Yep. Now we see it.
All right. So we see we
great.
on the ground here. we're a little outmatched, but Peter McCormick's car payment is looking tough right now, and his BlockFi interest is doing the best, but after their recent decrease, it's a little tough.
For those who don't know, Peter has been fighting Celsius because he's a BlockFi ambassador, and they paid him hundreds of thousands of dollars to talk about BlockFi. Well, BlockFi just lowered their rates by 90%. They basically said, game over, we can't compete with you guys. We're going to stop paying our community. If you have money in BlockFi, you can do 5 times better, 10 times better, depending on how much you have. Move it over. Okay, we'll take care of it. Okay, we'll take it from here, BlockFi. All right. So keep going here. So we have this other news. This is news that came out on Crowdfund Insider about Rodney. So we stole a top guy from Morgan Stanley, which is great. And VJ, who's our new CMO, who's also joined. He has the background in banking. So we did manage to find a bunch of people in banking who actually want to do good and then do well. It's amazing. You know, normally they want to do well and then they like sprinkle a little bit of charity money to kind of fix their image or whatever, right? So, but obviously there's good people everywhere. And here, I think we found a few really, really good people that are gonna help Celsius and help the community create even more value. And here's a feature story about Camilla. Look at that.
Hey.
Yeah, look at that. That's so this was this just came out, right?
Yeah,
that's
a couple days ago.
Yeah, so great story here. If you haven't read it, this is the title. Just Google it, and you can learn more about Camilla. Again, she's working around the clock to help all of you guys get those mega deals, the large deal. And everybody wants to know, large deals, come on, where?
Trust me, the large deals take a lot of time and energy. So we've got some that are done on the contract side. We have to get the tech side done, and then there's the marketing piece as well.
But we're doing our best,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you're hiring a few more people. So if you have experience, DeFi or business development,
Preferably a couple of years in crypto would be great.
right?
Definitely.
Send it to hr@celsius.network and tell us. You should put in the header, right? Hey, I want to go work for this Camilla lady. Okay, she looks cool. Okay, she knows what she's doing. So if you want to get an interview, all right? So also these new listings that we talked about, right? And we have one more listing next week, right? A big exchange. You worked on that for a while.
Yep. So we'll hold
Right.
fire on that. So you get to announce it next week.
Next
But
week.
it's-
Okay,
yeah,
I can't talk
we'll
about it. You
identify.
see? Every time I get excited to talk about something, like, oh, no, sorry,
Yeah, no,
next
there's-
week.
there's-
Stay calm and carry on, right? Is that what you guys say in the UK?
That's
Right?
exactly what we say, yes.
So the only place, like, people are worried that I'm going to die or whatever. The only place I'm actually going to die is going to be in London, because every time I cross the street, I always look in the wrong way and there's a bus coming, and it is so bad
Yeah.
because they don't have these railings. Like, at least here they have railings, and and
Yeah,
it's a mess.
jaywalking all the time.
Jaywalking, exactly. So I'm not allowed in London. That's all I can tell you. Okay. So here's another blog post, and we are a UK-based company. I have to be there at least twice a year because of COVID. I haven't been there in a while, but we have how many? Like now 15 people, I think, in the UK,
Yeah,
right?
maybe more. Yeah.
Maybe
We have,
more,
some of
yeah.
My team is based in London.
And they all have these
Clients,
weird
trading.
accents. Like, what? Can we fix their English or something? Or American? They can't speak American. Come on,
Queen's English.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Any British person, no matter what they say, just sounds so intelligent and so, it comes out just like this. That's not me.
Well, that's lucky. Lucky for me.
Right. So I'm gonna take some English lessons from Camilla. We'll see if I can pull it off for the next AMA. So we launched with Simplex, Apple Pay. Now you can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, sell token with your Apple Pay, instant settlement. If you haven't tried it, it's in the app, right? Click, and you buy whatever you need. Yes, there are fees. They're not our fees, Simplex fees, but considering the gas fees and other things, you should do the math. And sometimes it's cheaper to use your credit card than actually use it. The smaller the amount, the cheaper it is to use the credit card, considering the gas fees and what's happening on the Ethereum blockchain. All right. So this was, I was on the Banter show. If you haven't seen it.
You have the rates. Let's look at the rates. So the rates clearly going down. So you used to get 2%. On ETH, you used to get 5.25%. Now, if you deposit more than 100 ETH, you get 2%. And if you deposit more than 1,000 ETH, you get 0.5%. And so on and so forth. What they're basically saying is, we kind of don't have as much demand as there is supply. So we're going to disincentivize you from depositing money. On the other hand, I don't know if you guys saw, but Celsius published a little tweet with their response to it. I think their response to it was absolutely genius. It says, unlike our competitors, we don't block you from financial freedom. Download Celsius today and get the highest rewards all the time and bank yourself. So when this happens, you know what we do when this happens? When this happens, we bring in our friend, Alex Mashinsky. Alex, how are you, my friend?
Great. Thanks for having me back. So I said that BlockFi had indigestion, right? They just couldn't handle all those coins. Celsius is doing great. You know, again, we have over 13 billion in assets, and we haven't changed our rate. We're actually considering raising the rates, like we raised on DOT, and we were going to raise on a few others. So I love this. I love when the truth is exposed, and when the guys who really have been here for you all this time win the race.
Right. Sometimes it takes time, right, to get all this stuff settled out, but that's what makes Celsius so valuable, is that this is a company that's built to work for 100 years and be sustainable through that period, not, start up for a couple of years and look spicy until someone, buys you from Wall Street.
Yep, that's great. Zach says it better than me. I don't even have comments on his comment, so perfect job there. And so this is the Bittrex Global podcast. I've spilled some beans here as well. So if you haven't listened to it, it's a great interview, and definitely worth your half an hour, whatever, as long as it is. So just do a Google search. You can find it. And that just came out. And here is, I think this was, wasn't last week, but it was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, every idea you have has a Tesla, the word Tesla in it. So, all right, tell us what. I saw something on Twitter. What were you shilling on Twitter about that?
We're just trying to gather up information to see if our community wants to get a Tesla with a loan on their Celsius holdings, or
1% loan to get your Tesla. If you still like that, find that tweet. VJ is planning to give away Tesla at 1% interest, right? You can't get that anywhere. So if we have enough. Tesla is already accepting payments in Bitcoin. We have enough of you. We're going to go to them, negotiate a special deal. You're going to get a special version, a Bitcoin version of Tesla with a 1% loan from us. You can't beat that. So definitely let us know if you're interested. And Zach, where should they send that information if they're interested?
Oh, there's an email. I'll have to send it out after. I don't know at the top of my head.
Right, we'll post it on the Twitter channel and on our channel. And here's another. This was a few weeks ago with Shiran, our head of security. Zach was asking very intelligent questions. Party number one, rule number one, make sure you can return the coins to your customers. And rule number two is remember that you focus on rule number one. So as always, security is our highest priority. Again, we post all these things, several of these a day. And all you have to do is subscribe, hit the bell button, right? Smash it. So we know, that's what we say in the UK, right? Smash it.
Smashing, I guess.
Smashing, okay. You look at smashing, right? I can't pull it off. You have to do it. Come on.
You look smashing.
You look smashing. Here we go. So smash that button, and I just can't pull it off, the British accent.
Okay, we got the email. I'm going to post it in the chat now. It's celsius-social@celsius.network. Posting in the chat now. Email us there. Let us know if you have interest in this project. I think it's so interesting that Elon is trying to convince you to give up your Bitcoin for his Tesla, right?
That's right. He's like, hey,
you take a loan. And he's
no, keep your Bitcoin and just give him dollars at 1%. I mean, come on, what's a better deal?
Exactly. Don't give up those precious sats, right? Keep your Bitcoin and get your Tesla. It's a win-win.
Yeah. Just understand that Michael, even though I love Michael Saylor, I love the fact that he's an ambassador for Bitcoin. You have to understand that when he buys $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, who do you think he got it from? He got it from all of you guys who decided to sell to him, right? So he's now touting the horn and inviting everybody to come over because he already bought a few $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? So you want to be smart. Don't sell it to Elon Musk. Don't sell it to Michael Saylor. HODL. Okay, you need some money. We'll give you all the money you need to live on. Okay, I don't sell my Bitcoin. I don't sell my Ethereum. You know, so I bought more. So that's where we are. All right, let's do some quick rapid.
I had one funny question I saw
right,
there.
go.
Someone asked, did COVID restrictions limit travel for business? And I think the answer to that is I've done everything since I joined the company, basically from my kitchen.
Right, you joined a week before COVID, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
I think we were the last people to eat in that restaurant. I think they shut down the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like we left and they already locked the doors and said,
I think
okay.
a couple of round trips to the city, but everything. So I think I probably worked 5 times harder than I ever did before.
But we're going to Florida. We're going to be in the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, Bitcoin 2021.
Right. So there's going to be like 15 of us. So if you want to come and visit us in Miami, right? What is it? What's the date?
I'm going to say 4th and 5th of June. I'm pretty sure. So I'm excited because let me out of my kitchen, get to Miami, see some clients, see our customers.
Great. And it's outdoors, so you can actually get some suntan while you're getting drinks, while you get to meet all the different
it's
Bitcoin.
It's a Friday and a Saturday.
I know. That's amazing. I can't wait for it because I haven't been traveling either. So definitely you're all invited to this Bitcoin event. Obviously, we are Bitcoin maximalists. We all cheering for Bitcoin every day. And this will be the first kind of like real event since like basically 2019. I mean, we haven't done anything for a very long time. So Zach, are you coming or are you going to stay in
I would love to be there. I think that's going to be the event. I mean, Bitcoin has gone through such a transformation since that last event. And Bitcoin 2019 was great. Litecoin Summit 2019 was great, but Bitcoin 2021 is going to be the spot. If you look at their roster, they've got amazing guests. Like that's going to be the place to be. And Celsians, show up strong, bring your swag. We're gonna show Bitcoin 2021.
That's right. Yeah, we want everybody wearing these shirts. If you can't get them, again, you can buy them on USA Strong. You can buy them on the App Store. Sorry, the App Store. The Swag Store on the Celsius website. Okay, just there are links all over the place, and definitely get your shirts now so you can come with full making a statement for everybody there.
Too.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I've got a tweet on my screen right now. Tom, if you could show it from CZ. He's asking, what coins do you want listed on Binance? I think it's a great opportunity for us to go show them what our community wants.
She'll sell. Yeah.
Let them know.
Tell him that there's 1 billion reasons to list sell token on Binance.
No kidding.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Next question.
All right. Let's pull up from the chat here. Oh man, they're still flooding in. It's hot today. For some reason, Camilla, you're bringing all the questions. Everyone wants to ask you everything.
Someone asked about back on the mega deals again. Will we announce in Q2? I mean, if we don't get one of these out in a few weeks, I'll be very frustrated. So yes, just bear with us, and we'll have some announcements out soon. So hopefully soon. So
at least I'll say we have one public company, right? We have just given them a little bit of color. So one mega deal is a public company. One mega deal is like an internet related project, which is separate. Yeah. What else? I'm just trying to give them a little bit of color on, since I can't, next week I'm going to have to give them a letter from the alphabet. And it's going to be like Camilla. I'm like, it's like pulling teeth here.
Yeah.
Come on, close the deal, Camilla. Come on.
Just so everyone knows, like before this show, Alex is saying, what can we announce? What can we deliver for our community? What have we done this week to make, their wallets bigger, right? Is basically his goal every week.
I have 3 full pages here. And I'm like, but what is the announcement? So, right. But we
All
do
right,
have
here, I got a great question for Camilla.
Wait. Just a quick update. 15,000 registrations last week. $82 million in net deposits and 257 million total deposits. I mean, it's just crazy, right? This is 1 week. So definitely Celsius is accelerating. Again, more new users. Currently 57.6% of them are earning in sell. So more users, more earning in sell. We have to buy more sell token, right? The number of sell token does not change. It's the same number every week. So as we accelerate, you can see that number on our website. You can see that number. I think it's over 530,000 users. So as it accelerates and more of these people are earning in sell, and there's, again, it's like Bitcoin. If there's less sellers, right? People are sitting on there and saying, I'm not selling my Bitcoin. And now we basically, Bitcoin sell token is earning yield on several platforms. It's earning yield on FTX, meaning we are earning yield for our sell token on different platforms. We will be basically, hopefully, raising the rates on the yield on sell soon as well. So we just need to deploy enough of it. And all of that will accelerate demand for sell and the price for sell. We all sell holders, right? Everybody here, we all, we just got our $5 awards, right? I mean, it's vests over 3 years, but
everybody locks.
Yeah, we all locked in for 3 years, and so we all have to deliver. Believe me, everybody is focused on the prize. It's not like, so that's all good. All right, questions. Let's keep going.
Okay, Camilla, what was the leading reason you chose to make the big jump from traditional banking into crypto?
I think for me it was I just started doing some research and learning a bit about the technology, and I just kind of had this big penny drop moment, if that's a British phrase. The rabbit hole was calling, and I think working in an investment bank and knowing all of the architecture and operations, it just struck me that this technology was going to change everything. And then once I transitioned in and started to understand all of the different applications, to get more into Bitcoin itself and other digital assets, it just seemed like an obvious path for me. I just guess I got there after many people, but ahead of a few people.
You're still part of the 1%. Believe me, like 99% of the people don't even know what you're talking about. Right. So you're way ahead of the pack. And maybe give people an update about Sarson funds, because I don't think we spoke enough about it. And for the people who want to invest in a traditional way, this is a great way to do it, right?
Yeah, it's a great product. It's live. So we partnered with a group called Sarson Funds. The first product we've done with them is a stablecoin index fund. So again, just to give some diversity across 4 different stablecoins. They all, as you know, on the Celsius app, pay the same rate, but they've created a fund structure. So again, this could be, obviously people watching this are probably existing customers direct into the app, but this opens us up to more customers who want to subscribe into a fund. The rates will be a little lower because there's obviously fees, and obviously it's a different cost structure to go into a fund, but they can get a stable yield, exposed to stable coins. And again, it's another way of bringing more people into crypto who, I guess the first step is stable coins, not directly into Bitcoin and other assets. And that's assets that will come into Celsius. So it's a great distribution tool. It's bringing yields to people that wouldn't have otherwise been able to have access to yield and aren't perhaps comfortable to open digital asset wallets and things of that nature. It's a great team at Sarson. We like working with them, and I think there'll be some other things we can do with them too. So it's a cool
So I'm sharing my screen here to show everybody this. So I pulled their data sheets. Again, this is the name of the fund. If you don't want to deal with crypto, you don't want to deal with keys, you don't want to deal with transfers, I have to buy USDC here and transfer it. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. You just go to Sarson Funds, you buy this, this is just a product you can put right into your brokerage account, right? And as you can see, it's provided by Celsius, so you get all the benefits. You get 25% of 4 different stable coins, so you get full diversification. You still get a high yield, much more than your bank, but you don't have to deal with anything crypto, right? So if you're watching this show and you're scratching your head and you're saying, I have no idea what these people are talking about. This is how you get in. You still get all the benefit, but it appears in your Fidelity account or in your RAA account or in your Charles Schwab or whatever you're using, right? So really, really easy way to do this stuff. And I can't believe we didn't remind people about this.
Yeah,
We
no,
have
it's
to,
great.
yeah.
And it's shining a light on what we do. It's educating people about Celsius, but making it in a different way that it can be accessed. So
Yep.
it's cool. That was a cool
Great.
project.
All right, next question for Camilla.
Okay, question for Camilla right here. Camilla, can we join Celsius dev team DeFi from another country, and how do we apply?
We're definitely looking for people with DeFi experience. Absolutely. So we have some jobs posted on the website. You can send your resume through to jobs at Celsius.network. I definitely recommend putting a cover letter explaining, because again, some people may do DeFi on the side or be sort of more personally involved in it. So I put a cover letter explaining what you do, your experience in it, professionally or personally, and what you think you would like to do, and we'll absolutely take a look at it. Because DeFi, it's there's no one resume, right? Everyone looks
Right. And then, like, if you have skills where you understand all these different DeFi projects, and you can come in and help us list on Compound or Kava or Terra, whatever your favorite project is, and you know this project, you know these people, you've been hanging out with them, or you've been developing on these platforms. We need people that are technical, that understand the stuff, that can push through Celsius. We want to add our token as one of the supported tokens in all these different ecosystems, right? So we are pushing hard on Aave, and we're already on a few other platforms, right, that support Cell, but we need to add it to 100 others.
Yeah.
So when we say DeFi, it could be, okay, I'm a trader, and we can add you to the trading team, or you can be on the biz dev team. Really, it depends on your...
Yeah, on what the background is. And again, we're location agnostic. I mean, the BD team, we're a pretty small team, but we're around the world. We're in Asia, Europe, in North America. So
special preference if you're from Liechtenstein or from what was the other country? Bermuda. Sorry.
Bermuda.
Okay, so there you get extra points, but everybody else is treated equally. All right, next question.
Okay. Camilla, how's BD going in Europe? I would be able to onboard a lot of new people if Celsius would support a Euro stablecoin.
Yeah, Euro stablecoins, I think there's a lot of interest, but I don't think there's been one leading stablecoin in Europe for us to support at the moment. I think that's the issue, that's liquid and has a good track record. I think.
Well, Marie Lagarde poo-pooed the idea that Euro-linked stablecoins. She was basically questioning that and making it, like a questionable thing. So there aren't many of those being issued. So I think we need to, like you said, we need to see major institutions. Like we had GMO here, was it last week or the week before?
Last week, I think.
And that we need a GMO kind of level of an issuer for us to be able to kind of say, okay, we feel comfortable adding them to the wallet. We know they're going to pay the interest and all that other stuff. So, but we love that. Look, there are a lot of different ways of developing business in Europe. We're looking for partners. We're looking for banks to work with. Yes, banks, the good ones. And obviously, we do a lot of corporate work and so on. So definitely, it's not just about like we need a Euro stablecoin to do something in Europe. So, we're getting e-money licenses, all kind of stuff like that. So it doesn't matter if you're on the legal side or on the business development side, on the corporate side, we need help everywhere. So still over 100 job openings available. If you haven't seen them, we have a job link on the website. Go check it out. And if you have special skills, you got to submit and say, hey, I don't fit into any of these categories. Believe me, I don't fit into any of these categories. I would not be hired into Celsius. I just have one special skill, like leaping into the future, living there all by myself. It's so boring in the future. No, but seriously, like if you have a special skill, you got to convince us. You got to show us here. Yeah. Here is my code. Here is the work I did in advertising or in marketing, right? You got to include the proof of purchase. Like what did you do good and what did you do to create value? What did you do well? It's for us to really say, okay, this person needs to be part of the community. And again, 50% women. We give the same opportunity, right? Celsius
Yeah, we
is
need
a
more female applicants for sure.
Yeah.
It's tough. And I saw one question was about why there's so few women. I think there shouldn't be less women, but I think tech has typically been heavy men, and I think financial services has been typically heavy men, and crypto is kind of
right.
a combination of both. So, you know.
But you did a good job. I mean, you don't come from a technical background.
Yep.
You don't have a engineering degree,
Nope.
but you did a great job learning it and not being intimidated and kind of asking questions, right? And so on.
Yeah, you have to.
So I don't think it's again, every person based on your job have to know so much. It's not like you have to know DeFi better than anyone, right?
Yeah.
Yes, most of us don't know how to do farming or whatever, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't help the community.
No, and you have to want to learn about it and be
Exactly.
interested and excited about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Okay, Camilla. Kimmy's asking, what crypto books do you recommend?
You know, I'll be honest, when I first made the transition, I read a few books and they were interesting. And then as soon as I started learning more, I questioned the books that I didn't think they were actually that accurate, or they get out of date so quickly. So I like podcasts. I think I find podcasts the best, different resources online. There's a lot of good research platforms. Again, as much as I have good connections still to Wall Street, the reports they put out, frankly, are not as well researched from the perspective of people in the industry. So I just say use the internet. There's some great research. But books, again, by the time they're on the shelf, I think they're probably out of date. Very
disappointing answer. I was sure she's going to say the Celsius AMA, but
oh yeah,
of course, the Celsius AMA. Like my single source for all things crypto.
Okay. Back from the sheet. Remember, we do take questions from the sheet. Please include your referral so that we can credit you that 100 DAI. Andrew's asking, Alex, my few Bitcoins are in the Coinbase wallet. How do I transfer them to Celsius?
Right. So it's very simple. You first finish all your Celsius registration, everything else, right? When you are in your wallet, you just go to the Bitcoin. There's like a Bitcoin tab. You pull the address, right? You say deposit. It will give you an address. You copy that. Then you head over to your Coinbase account. You click the withdraw address, you paste the address, and you do a test transaction. Very important. If it's your first time, don't send 10 Bitcoins and be like, oh my God, I pasted something else. I forgot it. This was from there and I thought it was going to Celsius. We can't help you with that, right? If you put the wrong address in, we will not receive your Bitcoin. So do a small test. It's as simple as getting the address from us, copying it, verifying it, pasting it into the Coinbase account, doing a test, waiting 20 minutes, you get a cup of coffee, you come back, you'll
get an email from Coinbase and you'll get an email from Celsius saying we're pending a...
That's right. The email from Coinbase says, why did you leave us? And the email from Celsius says, hey, great to have you over. So we get a few thousands of those every week. Exactly. We love it when they come from BlockFi, from Coinbase, from Binance. We love our number one source of customers is CZs, all these people that CZ took money from. So, anyway, we'll never get listed on Binance. So get used to it. All right. I've said so many bad things about CZ.
No, Alex. Our community is going to become so large. We're going to become so large. We're going to be the elephant in the room. And you already see it. Like, we can't be ignored. That's why all these people are coming to us now, right? Because we have the most powerful community in crypto.
But I do, when I talk to a lot of people, they do tell me, wow, Alex, you're the only person who tells the truth about this Binance thing. Everybody else is afraid of the mighty CZ, So
Sure.
Look, again, Binance is a good platform. I'm not in any way saying they're bad. I use them sometimes. Celsius uses them sometimes. So in no way am I saying that Binance is a bad platform or whatever. I'm just saying that CZ can be more generous. That's all I'm saying, right? I think Binance US, Binance Global, are definitely a great place to trade. They have huge volume. Sometimes they have the best price. So if you are doing what's in your best interest, sometimes Binance is a great place to buy stuff. And they have unique stuff like the Binance Smart Chain, which is a great place to create yield. So in no way, they're part of the community and they're a good thing for the community, right? The banks are the bad guys, you know? So let's keep going. Next question.
Right. And on that transfer, when you open up your Celsius app, you'll see transfer, then you copy that address. And if this is the first time, I guess that's for making a withdrawal. So yeah, you can do it instantly. Yeah, pull all your money out of all the other exchanges and send it to
After
Celsius.
you do a test.
Right. Always do a test first, because you never know. Verify visually. Again, it's a one-way street. Once that crypto is sent, it is sent.
Yeah, you're nervous the first 2 times. So you don't want to be like, oh my God. And if something goes wrong and it takes 2 days to resolve, believe me, you're going to be so unhappy that you didn't test it. Because there's always quirks. Like, for example, with Binance, we had people transferring coins to us from the Binance Smart Chain, and you can't. Those are 2 different blockchains. You cannot just do it. You have to first go into Ethereum or Ethereum-based chains, and then you can transfer from Binance to Celsius. Same thing with layer 2. You cannot, on most layer 2s, you cannot transfer directly to us. So even though you copy the address and you paste it and you think everything is normal, it's not normal. You're running on a different highway. So just urging people, it's worth the gas fee.
Our institutions do it. I
Yes.
mean, the biggest customers out there will
That's
do a
right.
test for a new address.
Yes.
Always. Yeah.
So definitely, I'm in pain when I see these emails of people saying to me, I lost 2 Bitcoins. I'm like, I can't help you. You know,
What's going to happen to all these lost Bitcoins?
Poof, they're in the ether. You know, they're like, they're not even earning interest. They're just out there, right? They make the existing Bitcoins be worth even more. That's all they do, right? Because there's less Bitcoin. It's like, it basically makes Bitcoin a deflationary blockchain, because every time somebody loses a Bitcoin, right, it disappears. All of us have to compete for less Bitcoin, meaning instead of 21 million, it's 20.999 and so on, right? So right now already there's no 21 million Bitcoins. There's maybe 19 million Bitcoins in total when we finish mining all the Bitcoins, right? So today there's about 18 million that already been mined, 18.5 million, and at least 2 million of those have never moved, right? Have not moved in years. So there's either those are the world's best hodlers, right? People that don't even need a T-shirt to remind them or any of that.
They forgot their
Or they forgot their hardware wallet, and that's why they're good hodlers, right? So, all right, next question.
Okay, last one here from the sheet. What's the easiest way to roll over my IRA into Celsius? Charles is asking.
Yeah, IRAs.
To roll them over, though, I'm not sure I know the best method personally.
Well, to get my assets, if I have an IRA and I want to put assets into a Celsius account in that tax benefit, way, what would be the best way for our users to do that? Because we're seeing, and especially on social, a lot of people that are like, hey, 10% on stable coins, that's an easy decision.
Well, we can onboard IRAs. Maybe that's the simplest answer to the question. There's a corporate application form. If you scroll down to the bottom of the website, you can see corporate applications, I think at celsius.network/corporate onboarding. There's a form to fill with all the details of the account. Again, KYC AML. And then once that account is open, we can link it to the mobile. And when we have the web app, it will be a link to the web app. And then that can face your IRA or other
right.
accounts.
You just have to link to that account. So if you already have the assets, you just transfer them. I don't think the IRS cares if they're in this account or this account. And so the fact that you're earning interest is just additional earnings in those accounts. But again, we don't provide financial advice. We don't provide legal advice. You have to consult with people who know about this. Again, there's 100 articles on the web explaining how to do this right. We just have the platform. Again, corporate or personal, you have to decide how to manage it. All right.
Yeah, the chat is saying a good service to use is Rocket Dollar. Rocket Dollar, the chat is saying maybe a good service to look into for IRA options.
Yeah, and we should make it easier. We should really automate, like create a special button for IRAs and let people kind of walk them through the process with one of these partners. So definitely. All right, next question. Okay,
let's see here. The questions have been really good today. I'm appreciating it, chat. You guys are fantastic. I'm very excited to send out all these rewards.
Well, we kept it short, so we're definitely giving more money. I think people are much happier today. They're like, okay, finally they're moving. Because last week, looked like they didn't want to give us any money. Every answer was so long, it's like...
Trust us, we're not trying to hold back on the rewards, okay? We're happy to pay these $100 per question. Here's one from Rick W. He's asking, why can Texas residents not deposit stable coins with Celsius, but with BlockFi, Nexo, and every other company?
So I guarantee you that Nexo is not doing it legally, okay? Because they don't have licenses in Texas. BlockFi does have, I think, a money transmitter license, MTL. We applied for one. We're waiting for it to be received. So for now, we can only do DAI. And when we get that license, we will be offering the same service. So that's the main difference. But when you are doing it with anyone who doesn't have a license, like if you cannot go to their website and see that license, and they're offering it in Texas and they're offering it in Washington State, that is a violation of the law. Okay, that's all I can tell you.
All right, question here. How soon do you think we can see crypto mutual funds or SIP for investments?
Well, look, I think the SEC is, first there's a new head of the SEC, right? So I think we need to see what they haven't really spoken about the issue yet. You see a flood of new applications, both for ETFs and ETNs and every form, right? I mean, we're working with a lot of those guys, especially like in Canada and in Europe and so on. But we have to hear from the SEC and see what they're thinking about it. They're still under the belief that the Bitcoin market is manipulated and that they feel it's not safe yet for the average retail user. And in a way, by not allowing these new funds, they're allowing older funds to charge 2% or whatever, and that's just too much, right? So they think they're protecting us, but really, again, like Grayscale has $32 billion worth of crypto assets. They're collecting 2% of that. That's like $600 million a year that the average person pays to hold Bitcoin, right? So don't we want to lower that, SEC, or do we want to give it all to one entity that's kind of hoarding all of that money? So so we'll see. I mean, it's a balance between opening up and getting some people hurt because there was too much manipulation, and keeping it tight and only allowing the legacy guys like the banks, right? The old banks or legacy guys are being protected by the SEC, allowing them to charge crazy fees and get away with it. So I think we'll see some movement this year, and if it's not this year, we'll see it next year. So that's all I can say.
Camilla, to add on that, what do you think about the ETF? Like, this has been something that's been proposed many times, and they keep trying. I think Scaramucci just put in one, much lower cost than Grayscale's, investment vehicle. So do you think that's going to have a huge effect on Bitcoin when it does get passed?
I mean, I think it's going to bring a lot more people into the space. So I think it's positive broadly, and I think it's probably going to happen fairly soon. Again, I think there's so much pressure, and all these names of the guys that are applying for it are household names. So I'm sure there's a lot of lobbying going on in Washington and other places. Yeah,
I think Scaramucci, he used to be the PR guy for Trump, right?
Like a week.
11 days. Don't discount. He was there for 11 days. And but they are about 7.5 billion, right? They're exactly half, or about half the size of Celsius. And I think they realize that, and it's all traditional. Most of their money is traditional money. And they've seen us. They've seen other funds like Grayscale and others kind of zooming by them, getting bigger than what's the name of his fund again? Skybridge, yeah. Great fund. It's a fund of funds, really. It's kind of like a great way to get access to different asset classes. So I think it's a smart move to kind of basically create a bunch of crypto assets. I think they already launched few funds, but those are dedicated more for like accredited investors or large depositors. So them going for an ETF, they're a great brand name. So that's all good thing. It's a good thing for crypto. And actually, I had an interview with them. With Salt is their channel. So we had an interview. I don't know if it's so Bethany can maybe bring it up on the screen here. But basically, here, just scroll down. So if you haven't watched the interview, the Salt interview is right here. Okay, you're just gonna scroll down on your on the YouTube channel, the Celsius Network YouTube channel, right? You go search, subscribe button, blah, blah, blah.
Oh no, I think we have to do a quick refresh here and bring Alex back. All right, we are bringing him back on screen, or trying to from the back end. Well, we're coming up on time here, and if we can't get him back online, we will. Here we go. Yeah, we lost you guys for about 30 seconds there.
All right, I can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay. All right. We just have your audio only right now of you, Camilla.
Okay, keep going.
Put the video on here.
Yeah, just plug this in. Plug it over there.
Yeah, we hear you, Camilla. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're just switching laptops.
Okay, no problem. No problem. No problem.
It's fun when it's live. Right?
We actually, we're still up. Yeah, we are still live. Copy. Okay, and we're coming back online. Oh.
Sorry about that. That's what happens when you press the wrong button, you know? All right, so you can hear us, right? Everything's good?
Yep, you're all back online.
Okay, great. So, we're almost done anyway, but let's maybe give a chance to one or two more questions, and two last winners of $100 each.
Yeah, Camille, there was a quote from here I'm trying to find, but here it is. This person is asking, you had a quote in Authority magazine that said, rewiring all of the tech and operational aspects of financial services, which is archaic. What advice would you give traditional banking?
Yeah, well, so first of all, on archaic, just think these banks have like 40 years of old systems all piled on top of each other. But why would I give them advice? I don't think. That's the point.
Camilla just
get into crypto.
Hey, killing it. Look at that.
I think we want to challenge them. We want to make them rethink what they're doing.
What about bailing out all your friends who are still stuck there and can't get out? You know?
I'm sure the good ones will find their way to Celsius.
Right. Woo, what an answer. My God, I wouldn't come up with that. I would, you know? It just shows you what's in business development, you know?
Yeah. She's tough as nails. BTC Kyle, big supporter of us on Twitter, is asking, do you have an update on the funding round date? Will it be on Bank to the Future?
Yep. So we have our contract done. We're just pulling together the presentation. Again, you don't have to wait for the offering to be there. Sign up. Make sure it takes them a while to get you processed, accredited, blah, 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 blah. You don't want to wait. You don't want to be on the waiting list. So get it started now, sign up, and we will be opening it in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So it's coming very soon. It's not going to be open for too long because it's first come, first serve. It's only $20 million. And I know last time we had over 2,500 applicants. So if you wait, then you number 2,700, right? Only 1,000 basically got through. So definitely do not wait. All right, last question. Last $100.
Question. Okay, the last $100 going out here. Oh no, can't do that one. Can't do that one. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Alex, we got to speak to the world here. Any advice for young and unexperienced people in crypto? Okay, number one, I would say for me, hodl. Okay, it's the hardest thing to do, but it's also the easiest thing to do. Buy assets you love and hodl them with your diamond hands.
Yeah. So look, there are no rules. I mean, this is a new industry, and it's easy to do what we recommend during an up market. Every time you open your wallet, there's more money in it, almost no matter what asset you chose. So that's easy. The hard part is when the market goes sideways or down, and every day you look at it and you go, gosh, I'm not making money. Look, Amazon is going higher and I'm not making money, or I'm losing money, right? So you really have to have conviction. You have to do the research. You have to spend the time to understand, get involved, and create a belief system. Convince yourself of, for example, Bitcoin or Ethereum or Polkadot. It doesn't matter which project it is, or several of them, right? A portfolio of several of them, and really have a conviction about what you're doing, right? And then do an allocation over time. I see a lot of people kind of say, oh my God, I'm missing the boat, and they jump all in one shot. And then, of course, as it sometimes happens, you start seeing Bitcoin going down or whatever, or Ethereum. And what do? You sell those coins, right? Because you feel like, oh my God. When you only, let's say, put 10% of your money, when you see Bitcoin going down, you'll say, oh, here's an opportunity to buy it lower. I still have the conviction. I still have the belief. And here's my opportunity to buy at different price levels over time. So definitely, all of these best practices, right? It's the same. I think on Wall Street, it's the same recommendations, right? So we haven't invented anything new here, but unless you know and understand the business, right? You need to learn about Bitcoin, about Ethereum, do the reading, talk to people, watch shows, listen to podcasts, accumulate enough knowledge. And it doesn't matter what your age is. You can be 18 and have better practice or better behavior than somebody who's 60 who is all over the place. So the age doesn't matter. It's more about, are you focused? Are you dedicated to this? And then basically, like Zach said, have diamond hands, meaning don't sell, right? Just sit on your hands like this. Just sit on them. Don't allow them to press the sell button. It's not easy, I can tell you. Even I am challenged many times when I see prices move so much, but
when I'm buying, I always miss the dips.
Right.
Always. But yeah, I think your point as well. It's not about age. Everybody in crypto is only got a few years behind them maximum. So just find out what works. Do the research.
Great. Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to share with the community, or?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's just really exciting times ahead. I mean, I know everyone watches waiting to hear news, but I think everyone in the company is really excited about what we're working on, new features, improving experience on the app. And then on the business side, we have lots of amazing things happening. So it's going to be a huge year. There's so many pieces moving even outside our control with what's happening in financial services. So we're excited. It's going to be big. We've already passed all the milestones that we hit last year, right? In terms of outstanding loans, corporate applications, balances, everything. Right,
definitely. And it's funny, like a lot of people ask me for the swap function and this and that. And, I'm scratching my head and saying, wow, you tell people to hodl, right? And at the same time, you're going to make it so easy for them to switch or swap or sell. It's going to be much, much harder for people to hodl, because today, there is all this extra steps you have to take to not hodl, right? Because you want to sell the coins, guess what? You got to withdraw them. Sometimes if you're in hodl mode, you got to wait 24 hours, right? Then you got to transfer them out, you got to sell them, and so on and so on. So we almost like give you these obstacles, like the speed bumps on the road that slow you down, that make you think again and again. And a lot of you who are like, I want this swap feature, think about how many times you almost sold. Like if the button was right there inside the app, but you didn't, right? And you're looking at Bitcoin today or Ethereum and say, wow, man, I'm really happy that swap function wasn't in there. So I'm really thinking about how do we kind of balance we're still going to do the swaps. We're still going to do special things that we're planning there to make it easier for you. But how do we enable people to also have diamond hands? All right, so thank you, everyone. Great to have you. Thanks for spending Fridays with us. And as always, we do this for you. This is how we share information, educate, bring guests. Anyone you want us to bring over, let us know. Or if you want to introduce us to Michael Saylor or whoever, and you think we need to bring him on our show, definitely do that. And we would love to see you next week. Don't forget to share, hodl. This is the way. See you later.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.